Okay, this is Moshe in Israel from the Galilee giving you the evening war report. The big news is that this ceasefire peace deal with Hamas is pretty dead. It's not going anywhere. The media hyped it. The government never did. They came out and said that the talks for this peace deal are not advancing. A very discreet way of saying they're not going anywhere. The differences are too great, so that's not going anywhere. We're hitting Khan Yunis. I think it's more like central Gaza. We're hitting that very, very heavy. They've been evacuated out of there. It's really getting wiped out. Lebanon's been not inactive, but relatively quiet, substantially quieter. They may be rethinking what they're going to do because we've been flying our jets over Beirut and Tripoli, breaking the sound barrier, dropping flares and stuff like that, conducting mock bombing raids, and I think they might have gotten the reality of this. I don't know, but I do know it's markedly quiet. It's still doing stuff, but it's pretty quiet. Gaza every now and then manages to get a rocket off. Not too much damage. The Houthis are still messing with ships. America and UK are going to keep doing these futile bombing runs, and eventually they're going to get sick and tired of that, and they're going to have to talk about going in by land. They're going to wait for the European Union countries to send warships down and get committed, and then once they get them committed, they'll expand or attempt to expand the commitment to a ground invasion from numerous countries. Iran is still problematic. They're talking about Russia hitting Ukraine harder and harder, but we've been hearing that for years. There's nothing new there. We still don't know if the medicine that was sent by Qatar into Gaza for the Israeli hostages ever reached them. We don't know. Some of the family and friends of the hostages were blocking the humanitarian aid shipment today. They're saying, and they're correct, that there should be no humanitarian aid as long as they hold hostages. But the world's all against us. But God's not. The world, yes, but not God. Wait, just watch for it. You won't have a long wait. What else? The guy that I talked about on a video, it's kind of gone viral, saying you don't know who I am, but soon you will, and stuff like that. They identified him as a known terrorist that's been very, very bad in the past. See, there are a lot of them running around in America. We don't know how many, but many of you don't know how evil they will be. We do in the Middle East, but you're not really understanding how brutal they can be, that they are. What else? People are saying Biden bribed China to make electric cars for America. I don't know, some propaganda story like this. I haven't been able to really dig my teeth into it. The fighting in Khan Yunis is very hard. It's rough fighting. They're talking now about arming the people in the south and probably up in the north by Lebanon in different settlements with anti-tank missiles. Now I'll explain. These places, they go different ways. They're fenced, often sensors on the fence, so they know if somebody's cutting or touching the fence. The people that live in the settlement have a schedule where they volunteer. They get a military assault rifle. The government gives them these. They get some superficial training, not deep training with this. And they go out on patrol usually for 3 or 4 hours. It might be in the middle of the night. It might be in the daytime or whatever. Some of them bring dogs with them if you have a nice dog that you think will be helpful. You can't sneak up on a dog. Even if you got a little Pekingese or something like that, you ain't sneaking up on them. Little dog, big dog, it don't matter. They got the ears, they got the nose. You're not sneaking up on him. But some people have a more substantial dog, you know. And now that's one way they do it. The other way they do it is they have paid professional security. Now, frequently they'll have a blend, or they could. Paid professional security are ex-military combat unit guys that are civilians. They would probably be in the reserves, and they work for a security company that takes the job to provide security for the moshav, the kibbutz, the settlement, whatever. And they have a few guys that have radio communications. The volunteers have that too. They'll have radio communication, they'll have communication with the police and communication with the military. And they have a shift, you know, they work 8 hours or 4, 10 hours or whatever they do. And they'll work in a checkpoint, you know, the entry, and they'll patrol and, you know, maybe have outposts and stuff like that. The number of them on duty at a given time can vary, but it's not going to be that high in most cases. Maybe they got 2, 3, 4 on duty at one time, something like that. They have assault weapons, then they know what they're doing. And they coordinate with the military, with the police, with each other. And they probably have the ability to call the volunteers to support too in case there's a breach. And if there's a breach, then everybody's notified to lock the doors and windows and stay indoors. And they go on a manhunt until they clear the whole area, the whole settlement, or they apprehend the character, or they chase them, or whatever. And sometimes they shoot them. So now the army is proposing giving them anti-tank missiles, shoulder fired. Now that would enable them to be pretty potent if there were vehicles being used against them, but if it's just a bunch of foot soldiers spread out, it would be useful if they were hunkered down behind the building or in a building or something. You could blow the building up, you know. So if it's public that they're talking about it, Netanyahu is going to try his best to not let this go through, but it may go through. I don't know yet. I don't know. We got to see, but it's interesting. They have been getting assault weapons for a few months now, so they don't have a lot of them, but they, you know, like I heard of one place they had 18 rifles, but you know, you have the rifle sitting in arsenal. You don't get assigned it and take it home. It's in an arsenal, so when you go off shift, the next guy comes in and checks the rifle out. You know, so 18's a lot of guns, really, when you're trying to. I mean, it should probably be 38, but 18 is something, you know. You can get something done. That's really what I got for tonight. So I send my shalom to all those who love Yeshua HaMashiach, and I'm out.